1, 2, 1, 2. I think we had some tech difficulties there. Can you hear me now? Yay! It's me nattering away. And sound wasn't actually coming out on the stream. There you go. Yay! Oh no, I've got to repeat myself now. Hi Guernsey Girl. Hi Marie Chapman. Solange, are you happy if I give you a wrench just for tonight? If not, just say it's not that you have to or anything like that. Okay, cool. So I mean, yeah, just anyone, just as long as people are respectful, don't go effing and jeffing and attacking people in the chat, stuff like that. Then that's cool. Hi, Captain of my soul. Hail, hail! Someone let the lunatic loose. Effing and jeffing, yeah. Yeah. So what I was just talking about was obviously, it's impossible not to talk about what's going on in this Chris Watts case with all these books coming out. So much, so many hidden agendas, so much stuff being said online. I've got the forward, the first chapter of Kathleen's book. There was 5 chapters leaked, supposedly leaked. It's all done on purpose, this stuff, of Cindy's book. Now, I don't know if anyone's heard, but J for Justice did the forward of her book last night. This was the first time it was heard online. Someone in there that really kind of pissed me off that it's in the book. It's something that's been kind of almost suggested, and so J for Justice did it last night. Frank was in there. Frank saw it, heard it, and called it as bullshit, and it kind of pissed him off, and I can understand why it did. And then obviously before that you had Sherilyn's book, which is doing absolutely terribly, by the way. Promoted by Critical K, in my opinion, was a victim basher at the very start. I find that very difficult to forget. I think a lot of people do, even though she says she's changed her tune and what have you. Very suspect that the author went to her, in my opinion. Oh, you missed that, Solange. Yeah. So, hi, True Helper. So I'm gonna read this. So this is chapter 1 of Kathleen Hewston's book. That she's actually a proper crime author, supposedly, but she's written this with Cindy. I believe this is Cindy's book. I mean, whether you want to hear it or not, this stuff's out there. It's it's going to be coming out next July, I think. This book. There's something in there I very, very strongly disagree with, and I can see why it has upset the Rusex and upset a lot of people, to be honest. Although it's one of those things, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but it's like, why is it there? Why is it there in the first place? Why bring it up? Yeah, next July, Solange. That's what I understand, anyway. Yeah, so let's just have a quick look. I'm just going to read a few reviews of Cheryl's. So this is Sherilyn Cadle's book. There's letters from Christopher. Has anyone got this book or read it? Louise, yeah, this is the bit that is controversial in this chapter, which I'm going to read. Has anyone read Sherilyn's book, or buy the book, or seen it. There's a PDF that's going around online apparently. No. Good. Okay. Well, yeah, it's not doing very good on Amazon, unfortunately. It's got 2.1 out of 5 stars. First review, 1 out of 5. Says, I was interested in reading this as I followed the news reports. I'm so terribly disappointed as it's evident this person is not a writer, which she's not, I believe. It was her first book. The writing style is very poor, narrative is jumpy, and the author repeats herself constantly. I always finish a book once I've started reading it, but I'm really struggling to finish this one. It doesn't seem very fact-driven. In fact, a lot seems very mumbo-jumbo, i.e. the children's spirits noticing the darkness in his spirit. True crime should be fact. I was curious about this book, but my curiosity has been killed by this terrible writing. Second review, 1 out of 5. Has this book been publicised and delivered? Because there are people going crazy on Facebook, claiming that they pre-ordered it and it was never published. What's going on? Well, I know there's been a lot of hi Brandy Brown. I know there's been a lot of problems with it being distributed and stuff like that. There's people that pre-ordered it and never got it. So yeah, it sounds like you shouldn't. Don't waste your money, to be honest. Another 1 out of 5. Why is this author making money out of a sadistic, psychopathic killer, rather than a book highlighting the beautiful mother Shanann was to her children, as well as the love she doted on that monster? He is a sick man. There is no excuse to murder your own family. Why didn't he get a divorce? Why did he go to such extreme measures? Do not buy this book. The author is sick, wanting to waste energy on a sick, psychopathic killer like Watts. I hope he rots in prison, and I hope his mind is tortured. They all think they are reformed good guys when they have found God. God is their answer for everything. Don't change nothing. He is still two-faced and evil human being. I mean, this is the other thing, he was supposed to have found God. And the author was supposed to have been a practicing Christian, and it was supposed to be his story about finding God and his, path to that. And I don't know. I think she probably I don't know. She's probably a Chris fan. I don't know. I think she just wanted the story, the scoop. Yeah, they all find God when they get caught. Exactly. It's just prison religion, isn't it? Prison religion. Yeah, I agree with you too, Help. I personally feel that she used religion to manipulate and exploit others for profit. I agree with you 100%. Hi, Holly Benjamina. I think she did. I think she did use religion. I think she did also, kind of weasel her way in a little bit with Chris's family as well. There's a lot being said about that. I don't know what's true and what's not. I always try and get to the truth. Hi Zelda. The truth of the matter, what's going on. And just bring you guys the information and what are the facts. Sometimes I get shot down for bringing out stuff, or if I mention the name Watts, but don't shoot me. I'm just trying to bring you the information out there. But I think this author, personally, my opinion, I think she has exploited a lot of people to get to where she wanted to get to speak to him. And I think she used the religion aspect also to do that, hiding behind religion, if you like. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. Why not find God before the crimes? Maybe they wouldn't be rotting in jail. Exactly. It's a very quick time, isn't it, to find God as well. He spent all of his life, 30 odd years, not particularly religious, and then within a year they found God and they're reformed characters. It just doesn't work like that, does it? So yeah, so that book's doing it's doing a bit of a dive, to be honest. As a first book, for someone as a first book, I think that was stupid to write something like that, to write a book like that as a first book. I think that's dumb. And you know, I think it's probably a lot of people that were thinking that he was going to throw sort of Nicole under the bus, but as far as I know, he hasn't. No one's come out with any amazing revelation that she's you know she was involved in any way. And at the end of the day, why would he be protecting her? I don't I don't get that. I don't get that. Zelda, I've offered her 15 grand to pull her book off shelves now and apologise, admit to lies. I mean, and the other thing, she goes to, of all places, a UK paper as well, which I thought was a bit weird. She went to the Daily Mail, which is a UK tabloid newspaper. They've obviously given her quite a sizable chunk of money. They had the scoop, didn't they, on all of the tidbits and stuff that were in the book. So, was she in it for the money? You got a question, haven't you, when people do stuff like that? And she said her aim was to help, ultimately try and help the families get closure and the truth from Chris. I don't know. Is he ever gonna tell the truth? Is he ever gonna tell the truth? Or is it just more bullshit? Whoever goes to speak to him now, are they just going to get a different spin on his bull crap? It's just it's just crazy, isn't it? Hi Firefly, trapped at work but listening in. Yes, letters from Lucifer is bombing. It is not doing that great, which I think we probably all thought it wasn't going to do anyway. Um, yeah, Anthony Savage, donate to Lupus Fund. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? If you did something like that. She didn't consult the Rusex, no. No, she didn't, not as I understand. I think what they do is they sort of write the book. Oh no, I think she said she reached out to them, but they didn't respond, so she just went ahead anyway. It's like, well, um, then they release the book, and then at the last minute they'll, oh, here's a copy for your lawyers. It's too late then, isn't it? It's all out there then. It's all out there. It's too late. I don't think for a minute that they got any consideration for the families at all. At all. I think it was all about her. It's about money. It's about meeting Chris. Trying to be the one that would get the truth out of him. I don't think he'll ever be to fully tell the truth, in my opinion. And I think you're just going to get a constant spin of bullshit. And he's trying to deflect away from him. He's trying to diminish his responsibility in any way he can by um, saying it was because of this, or it's because of that, or that's what he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. So anyway, so a lot of you probably haven't heard this then if you weren't in Jay's live last night. So just to give you a rundown, Jay for Justice, she was on there with Mel, and she was on there with one of her admins, I think. And so this sort of first chapter's been just put out of Cindy's book. Now, in my opinion, Cindy should not be writing a book. Maybe 10, 15 years down the line, maybe. Now, no. Absolutely not. And the fact that, they're almost certainly going to profit from this book as well. No, I think it's wrong. Very, very wrong to be doing this at this time, in my opinion. Yeah, there was that about saying it was her private thoughts, and this was that was the five chapters that went out, which were supposedly her private thoughts, and they were kind of leaked by Critical K, apparently, something like that. Tiffany Sanchez, no, it's not actually her writing the book, it's Kathleen Hewston, but I believe it is Cindy's kind of story as well. This Kathleen is a friend of the Watts family. She's certainly a friend of Mel's. Mel's obviously a friend of the family. Yeah, that's what I understand anyway. She's kind of it's the same. This is the same book that those other 5 chapters that were leaked, that were supposedly Cindy's sort of private thoughts. Okay, so this is I think this is chapter 1, or the forward to the book. Hi, Making Lemonade. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. It's out. It's out there. You're probably going to hear it anyway at some point. So if you weren't in Jay's live last night, you wouldn't have heard this. I can't see chat when I'm reading this, so just be wary of that. Let me just see if I can. No, I better not. I'll check back on chat just as I go through it. It's not too long. I say it's just the forward, so it's probably going to take me about 10 minutes to read through it. But and then we'll just talk about it after this. Say there's one particular point in here which really kind of got me triggered, and really kind of pissed me off, to be frank, because it kind of just the fact that it's mentioned, and it's I don't think it should be in there anyway. So okay, so this is from Kathleen Hewston's book. This is the forward, I believe, first chapter, and it's called Case Questions. Okay, so this is, you just got to think this is kind of hypothetical. So this is the author as if she's talking to Chris. Okay, it's called Case Questions. These are questions that have puzzled me right from the beginning. Cindy has wondered about these as well. Cindy, who is a deeply sweet and bright woman, asked me one day, how did Chris think murdering his family would let him be with Nicole? What an excellent question. And then it's got like the star motive. Motive, the supposed motive that everyone, for no reason I can figure out, believes is that Christopher Watts murdered his pregnant wife and 2 little girls because he did not want his mistress of 5 weeks, Nicole Kessinger, to find out his wife was pregnant. To begin with this, if this is true, which it cannot be, the stupidest motive in the history of murder. People murder for money and sex, and or to hide secrets. So, okay, let's go to the latter, the hiding of secrets. Watts murdered 3 or 4 people, depending on how you view Nico, so that Nicole Kessinger, his mistress of, again I must reiterate, 5 weeks, would not find out his wife was pregnant. That is his secret. A secret worth risking the death penalty for, at worst, or life without parole, at best. And that is if you don't even look at the moral implications of ending all these young lives. But that's what he said his motive was, to keep his new lady from finding out that Shanann was pregnant. Do you believe that? If your answer is yes, can we talk about why you believe that? Do you believe that Nicole never once Googled Shanann Watts before the murders? Because that's pretty naive. Of course she did. And Shanann had been posting about her pregnancy for months. It was all over her wide open Facebook page. Even Christopher Watts said that Nicole lied about not knowing Shanann was pregnant. In fact, according to him, she knew he was married from the beginning and didn't believe his claim that he was separated. Asking why she would lie about that is silly. She was trying to save face, I get it. Doesn't the affair show some pretty huge lack of judgment? Of course it does. And no one else seems to have even addressed what an irresponsible thing she was doing to her career by it happening, let alone that she was seeing a man with 2 small children and a pregnant wife who wasn't going to take this lying down. Shanann probably would have reported her to Anadarko and she would have been fired. But since Nicole Kessinger is not the one who murdered everybody, that doesn't matter. Her lying after the fact about Chris's marital status was an attempt at damage control to try and save her reputation. And since that had been an epic fail, I think she should just come out and admit that she lied. But I'm not writing about Nicole's motives here, just Chris's. And since Nicole did know Shanann was pregnant, there goes his motive for killing Shanann. If that is, you believe he would risk everything for that anyway. Moving on, Chris, it seems, has never been pressed on why he killed his children. In his second confession, he alludes to a rage that, according to that particular confession, held through loading Shanann and Nico's bodies into the car and then driving with his oddly quiet and passive little girls for over an hour before killing them. So he was still in a rage? Was he, even after several hours have passed, the kind of rage that causes you to kill children and destroy their bodies? Wow, that is some epic rage, all right. But then Chris tells yet another story, his third story. And this tale, he was not in a rage. No, it was just a nightmare. The girls running around crying because they saw their dead mother. And he was panicked and distraught. He therefore reasons them into the back seat of the car with their dead mother, who had by now miscarried their brother. And they rest their feet on these corpses and ride for an hour out to the oil site, where he murders them. Oh, but wait. In this latest scenario, he already had murdered them and they had come back to life. So that was why they had to ride along to the site and he had to kill them again. So in his own words, quote, they wouldn't come back. But again, why? Why did you kill the children, Chris? If he did not want to kill the children, he had a lot, and I mean a lot, of time and opportunities to not do so. If he wanted to be with Nicole Kessinger while Shanann and the girls were away in North Carolina, well, he was with her right there, safe and sound, in Colorado. If he was afraid of Shanann, insert eye roll, then he could have called her in North Carolina and said, I've met someone. We're going to be together and we are losing the house anyway, so don't come back. Or if that was too scary for him, I believe both email and text would have worked. And if he didn't want to read Shanann's response to his news, then he didn't have to open her response. Now there he is in Colorado, safe and sound with his girl. His ex is gone. His kids are safe. And later on, when tempers die down, well, he could have arranged for visitation if he wanted, or not if he didn't. Whatever Shanann was, for sure, she was young and gorgeous and would have remarried. Chris could have either seen or not seen his children with her at his choice, and he could have married Nicole, who was already looking at wedding dresses. He could have had as many more children as he wanted, and both he and Shanann could have made ex-husband/wife jokes about each other into their old ages. As we know, he didn't go for that. Instead, he spent money he didn't have to fly to North Carolina, to bring them back to Colorado to murder all of them. Makes sense. What? Oh right, it doesn't. Not if you didn't plan to kill the girls. And again, that would be my question. Why did you want to kill the girls, Christopher? What were you hiding when you hid their bodies? If you loved them, you would have A. Never gone to North Carolina to fetch them, or B. Left them with their grandparents alive and well after dumping your wife. The first one would have been the easiest, but either would have been better than killing them. So maybe now you would try telling me that ridiculous story where you told Cadle that, quote, Nikki said to go to work on my marriage and I felt all alone. And then she asked me if I was with her and I got all nervous, unquote. Okay, so you went to North Carolina to work on things with Shanann, bringing along with you a deadly dose of opiates to give her in case things didn't work out. All right, except you tried to do her in that very first night, which doesn't seem to allow for a lot of marital improvement. But whatever, maybe it was a sign Shanann is meant to live. I think I'll just fly back to Colorado feeling really good about not getting caught attempting to murder my pregnant wife and call it a day. Note, I think an even better plan is to go spend time at the beach with everybody, then fly them back and kill all of them. Why did Chris, who was planning to kill Shanann, at least according to his story to Goodell, kill his children? Why? He brought them back to Colorado to kill them. He knew Shanann was going away to Arizona. He knew that would let him kill the girls without interference, and he did kill them. They were both dead, or at least deeply unconscious, before she got back. And why did he feel so compelled to kill them all that night? His only excuse is that it was because his girlfriend would find out Shanann was pregnant the next day. But he says that she already knew, and I believe him. Besides, even if she didn't, Shanann was so willing at that point to please Chris that she wasn't going to post it on Facebook if he said not to. Which is still so stupid because it was already all over her Facebook page. So what one more post more or less matter? Would one more post more or less matter? We know he actively chose instead to kill not just Shanann but the girls. Why did you kill the children, Chris? If you knew you were going to leave Shanann, why did you not just leave her alone in North Carolina? Why fly to North Carolina, attempt to kill her, and after that failed, bring her back with the children? And if you weren't planning to kill them, you were going to do what with them? Make sure they didn't miss you killing their mother? No, you were going to kill them, weren't you? That's why they were brought back, isn't it? But why, Chris? Why did you kill the children? And why that night? What was happening the next day? Let's see. Well, Shanann had a doctor's appointment. Did you kill her and the children to keep her from going to that? I know copays are a real bitch, but that seems extreme. We know you said you were afraid of her talking to Ronnie. If you had let him FaceTime with her on her last night alive, she might have told Shanann something too that night, that you were going to kill Shanann when she got home anyway, weren't you? Whatever secrets they were would have died with her. And if you weren't deliberately targeting Bella, Chris, why didn't you leave those children in North Carolina? If you feared Nicole didn't want to be a stepmother, I think that the Ruzeks, your own parents, or Jamie and Robert would have all stepped up to the plate for the girls. So why did you kill the children? Why did you kill the children? Did you kill them to protect Shanann? Were they Shanann's secrets you were killing them for, Chris? Had Shanann been hurting the girls, and you didn't want them to tell? You couldn't leave them safe in North Carolina either, could you? Because they might have told their grandparents, and you had to protect Shanann's terrible secrets. You couldn't let Bella enjoy her first day of kindergarten because she might have told someone Shanann's secrets. This same Shanann whom you first accused of murdering the children back in confession number 1. But it seems a crappy way of protecting her secrets to kill both the girls and her. Whose secrets were you protecting? Or was it not her secrets you were protecting either, Chris? You destroyed their little bodies, Chris, making sure that whatever secrets they may have could never be told. And then you sealed their medical records and refused your parents the power of attorney to open them again. Why? Why did you kill the children, Chris? You said that the cadaver dogs hitting in the basement must have been because a demon was down there. What a stupid, stupid lie, even by your own standards. You killed them all down there, didn't you, Chris? Or tried to, anyway. But again, can I ask you why you lied about even that? What are you hiding? Why did you kill the children? And that's it. Now, the bit that's triggered me and has triggered a lot of people is the kind of, it's the line in there, isn't it, about Shanann's secrets. It's the suggestion that Shanann in some way abused the children. That bit pissed me off. That bit shouldn't be in the book. I don't even know why that's there. I don't even know why these secrets are being suggested. And she's almost insinuating also that Chris has done something to the children. So I really don't know where this has come from or why. Yeah, to put doubt in everyone's head. Exactly, it's this, in inverted quotes, secrets. It's horrible, isn't it? It's suggesting something. It really is. I've got a real problem with that. I've got a problem with the fact that she's writing a book to begin with. Now, Cindy is one sick person. She needs help. She, definitely. I mean, if they think by bringing this out, if they think they're hated now, my God, they got no idea the hate this is going to bring. I mean, as I sort of started reading the first bit, I was kind of thinking, this author, she's kind of, she's kind of in the right mindset. She's calling Chris out on his kind of bullshit, excuses, the fact that he's just felt emasculated and, he just didn't man up to anything and, he's just lying about everything. But then it gets to that, that bit about the secrets. And it's just the suggestion there. It's just the fact that that line is in there. It sits really badly with me. And I can't even go there to think about Chris doing anything with the children. It's sick. It's sick. So I really don't know where this Kathleen is coming from. She's using the fact that Chris sort of sealed the medical records of the children, and is almost thinking and suggesting that there was something that he didn't want people to find out from that. Probably the fact that he didn't want them to find out is probably because of, God knows what, when he killed them, what he did. He's probably, I don't even want to go into it, but um, you know, yeah, Jay, I, Jay's a good person, and I feel that she's been sort of manipulated as well a bit, because there's clearly a hidden agenda behind, these books coming out. The fact that, I don't know, Mel started to come out, has approached these channels, us included. I know Mummy Rambling, some other channels as well. It can't be coincidence that they've started to speak out, and then all of a sudden you've got these books coming out. Yeah, Tiffany, I know it's the author speaking. She's kind of put in, I understand what she's doing. She's putting rhetorical questions to Chris. The problem I have with it is the questions at the end about, these supposed secrets. Um, why is that being put out there? Why is that being put in the book? Um, Now, another thing, if people go back and watch Jay's live from last night, um, Mel was on there. She read the book, or she read what I just read, basically. Um, Now, there was a YouTuber, I think it's Jules of Thought or something like that, came in and she put those two rhetorical questions um, to Mel. She said, I didn't see Kay's live. No, I don't really watch Critical K, to be honest. Um, So Jules, I thought, came in. She put those two rhetorical questions. Did Chris sexually abuse the children, and did Shanann abuse the children? She kind of reiterated what the author was saying. Rhetorical questions. Okay. Now, in that live, Jay for Justice, straight away said, no, no, no. I don't believe, you know, Shanann abused the children. Okay. And so did her mod, but Mel didn't. Mel went silent. She didn't respond, and that told me everything. Um, and that for me, just leaving that open, that suggestion that there might have been something, that suggestion that Shanann may have abused her children, I find that disgusting. I find that appalling, and that going in that book, that's crossed the line for me. And that needs to be ripped out of that book. They're going to get so much hate from that, and they deserve it. If that's what they're going to run with that author, then they're going to deserve it. I'm sorry, but you can't ask rhetorical questions like that without at the same time putting out that suggestion. In my mind, yeah, Lisa Jenkins, I do feel that Jay's being used. Um, I mean, this is the thing, right? Okay, I will, as Team Phoenix, I'll let people speak. Okay, um, there's a lot of stuff I know that happened in the past I didn't see. Okay, I heard about it, I didn't see. Um, I'll let people speak, but if if something comes up that I'm quite happy to call people out on their bullshit. I'll give people a platform to speak. I would rather give them that platform to show who they are, and for people to be able to see that and call it out, um, rather than it go on behind the scenes, because there's so much goes on behind the scenes. Team Phoenix here, I want people, if they got the balls, to come on here and, give their angle on this case. Anyone. If Mary Marlowe wants to come on here, if Critical K wants to come on here, you've got that platform, but don't be expected for me not to call you out on your bullshit or what I perceive to be wrong. And in that instance, to me, that's very wrong. That's disgusting, actually. That's disgusting. And that puts a slur and a suggestion onto Shanann, and that is wrong because we all know that Shanann would never have touched those children. She was a wonderful mother, daughter. That doesn't even need to be said. So for that to go in that book, and for Mel, I mean, Mel is basically Cindy, isn't she? Mel is the Watts. She's Cindy. Um, so for her not to call that out and not to, at that point, she should have spoke up and said, no, no, no. We do not think that. We do not think Shanann hurt her children in any way. The Watts family don't believe that she hurt the children anyway, but she didn't. She didn't. And that says a lot, I'm afraid. You know, it's no good behind the scenes saying, "Oh, we don't believe that." Get out on social media and say it. Or whoever's doing your PR work, you know, Mel or whoever, needs to get out there and say that. They need to say, "No, we don't believe that." So I don't know, but that, you know, that bit, that bit really did piss me off, and that got me triggered because I thought that was very underhanded, and there's no reason for that to be in the book. I can see where the author's coming from, calling out Chris on his bullshit, but that sort of step to line, that was wrong. That was wrong. Sassy Tech just sent me an email. Okay, I can check that now, actually. Can't see it yet. Hang on 1 second. Unless it's gone in there. I can't see it yet, Sassy Tech. Let me just put the email in there a minute. Just make sure you got it right. So I know it's probably a lot of you, it's maybe the first time you've heard that. So yeah, Wendy went. You're right, it was left hanging in the air. Obviously Frank was listening, you know, at that point, you know, he's come in and said BS, which is absolutely right. And, you know, he's defending his daughter, he's absolutely right. You know, it was at that point when it was suggested that, or this rhetorical question, you know, did Shanann hurt the children? It shouldn't have been left hanging in the air. It should have been instantly shut down. Boom. You know, but it wasn't by Mel. It wasn't. So, you know, where does that leave that? Yeah, well, Frank's, you know, Frank's not stupid. He knows what's going on out there. You know, he's defending his daughter and his grandchildren. I would be exactly the same. Um, you know, he knows that Mel and all that's out there as well. He knows what's going on. He knows the channels that, you know, people are sort of going to behind the scenes and what have you. So, but you know, he's there to call it out straight away. So, you know, fair play to him. See you, Anti Savage. Yeah, absolutely. We'll defend. Well, we always have. You know, we'll defend the Rusex to the end. Um, you know, we're all about truth, honesty, integrity here. You know, um, if people are saying bullshit, let's bring them up, put them up here, because it's easier to call people out on their bullshit when they start speaking out, in my opinion. Um, you know, obviously, you know, we got shot for having Mel come in, but for me, it gave people a chance to speak to her and call her out, and they did. And I learnt a lot from what had happened in the past. Um, you know, a lot of it was this Nutgate video that I haven't seen. It got deleted. I haven't seen it, but Jules of Thought was talking about. She has them apparently. She's talking about showing them. Yeah, exactly, Kimberly D. Everyone can see it for themselves. Exactly, because so much gets said behind the scenes, and you know, don't shoot me for having someone on here who you don't like. Just because I have someone on here that I don't like, or I talk of someone that you don't like, just because I have them on there doesn't mean to say I like them. Okay, I'm just saying, look, there you go. This, if that's your corner, speak it out. Um, but we'll soon shoot them down if need be. You know, we'll call them out on their bullshit. That for me is the better way to do it than keep stuff behind the scenes or little rumors and whispers, and, you know. And that happened with Jay's because Mel came on and, you know, she didn't shoot down that rhetorical question about Shanann. And so that showed, didn't it? Straight away it showed her thoughts on it and probably Cindy's thoughts on it. So there you go, you know. Well, I'm gonna try. There's a different way I think I can put like a link in the chat, and if anyone wants to just come on here and talk, they can talk about anything they want about this case. You know, the books, about the channels, or you know, the crime community, what's going on, anything you like. Um, you know, feel free to. I think you just click the link, and if it will just ask you to install something like Zoom or something, and it should take you straight on. That'd be interesting to test it actually. If anyone wants to be my guinea pig for this. Um, so let me just try it a second. Invite, copy URL. Right. Okay, that link should, if you're on a phone or laptop, PC, doesn't matter. That link should take you through to me. Yeah, Jules. The only thing I would say about that, Jules, is she kind of almost like she was there instantly and then went live. It was a little bit, I don't know. I can see why she did it, but it just did seem a little bit opportunistic and staged, maybe. I don't know. But fair play to her. I mean, you know, that's okay, true helper. No worries. Uh, Kimberly, I was going to ask you actually if you wanted to be a spanner for the channel. Um, Kimberly's done some great work in the background as well. Kimberly's put together a full victim support sort of spreadsheet for the whole of the US, for all of the states. So we've now got all of the details for each state, you know, victim support helpline numbers and stuff like that. So, you know, that was all Kimberly D's work. So fair play to her for that. And it's entirely up to you, Kimberly, if you want to be a spanner or not. If you don't, it's fine. If you do, that's cool. But it's entirely up to you. Okay, that's cool. Um, there you go. It's pretty good actually because we don't seem to have. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to curse it again. I'm going to curse it again. But no, we got a great community of people in here, which is great. So yes, you better behave now because Kimberly's got a wrench too. So yeah, I saw. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so Frank, Frank was also went into Jules's live after as well. I think Jewel was a little bit concerned that it had been twisted round and it made to look like Jewel had suggested those, you know, rhetorical questions, if you like, about Shanann, which she didn't. She didn't. So, um, you know, Yeah, Jill was upset. Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why the Watts have. I don't know why Cindy's writing a book. I really don't. To be perfectly honest with you, what are we just over a year of what's happened, and for her to be writing a book about her story, no, I'm sorry, it's not the time for that. Um, yes, you've maybe got a story in 5, 10 years time, not now. No, no, no. And then for that to be thrown into that book, no. And you've only got yourself to blame if you do stuff like that. And wonder why people hate you. Do you know? Don't understand it. I really don't. But if they, if their opinion is not what people are perceiving it to be, then they need to get out and speak. Or they need to put out a public statement or something to say that, no, we don't believe that Shanann did anything. We love Shanann. We don't think that Shanann killed the children. Because even that's still out there that they think that. If you don't think that, you would be straight out there, wouldn't you? On shooting it down. I would on social media or on local TV or whatever. I'd be out there saying, no, 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 we don't think that at all. Do you know what I mean? By saying nothing or just saying stuff behind the scenes, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. So I don't get it, you know. Unless, of course, that's their true feelings, in which case they just need to be quiet and just don't say anything. Don't say anything. I mean, High Genetic Code, we thought, obviously Mel approached a lot of channels. She obviously approached us, Mel and Jamie. We thought, maybe we can help, what we were told and everything. Maybe we can help, I'm not talking about them all, having a Christmas party together, but just to kind of kill and dispel a bit of this hate online. But then obviously it transpired that these books were coming out and, you know, everything just went haywire. And obviously there's hidden agendas going on, um, and it just went crazy. Well, Tiffany, it's already been read out. It's going to be out there anyway, so Jay's already read it out. It's going to be out there, so they've chosen to make it known. They've chosen that such Jay distribute it out. They want it heard out there, so oh me, sorry, okay, not me. As I say, you know I put stuff out there for you guys. If you don't want to hear it, just switch off or whatever. But please don't shoot me or please don't think that I'm in bed with anyone just because I speak with them or talk about them on here. It's not the case at all. I just want everyone to know what's going on. In this case, everyone knows where we stand in this. It's clear from when we started 9 months ago. We were the only channel that started fighting for, well, yeah, the only channel that started, in a way, sticking up for the reasons and opposing all the other channels that were shooting her down and all the other channels that were trying to exploit her. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything here, but we were the only channel that were doing that from the start. There are a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's wrong," there, but we were actually going up against it and calling it out, and that's what we'll still do now. and I'll absolutely call out the what's on what I think's bullshit and what I think, is a hidden agendas that they've got. Right, has anyone tried this link yet? Or I can put the numbers along the bottom, I think. Hang on. Does that work? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Then the other thing I was going to talk about was, the conspiracies that have just surrounded this whole case. That we kind of called out from the beginning as well. I'm sure we've all heard the shadows. Do you know what I mean? If we haven't, for God's sake, a creator picks up on one thing that other people saw before. We all know, but he picks up on that, and it seems to bring him this full sense of importance and skill and everything. But what did we have after that? We had this that's not on the CCTV. That's not Chris Watts walking out. It's Nicole Kessinger. You can clearly see it's Nicole Kessinger. The jeans, the gait, the ponytail, the handbag. Which in my mind is still all complete bullshit. It's just fabricated from CCTV, and it's to feed that narrative that, oh, that's Nicole Kessinger, walking out the front of the house, as if she'd do that. Hello, there's doorbell cam there. If we remember, we caught Shanann coming home. There's door cam footage there. If she had walked out that door, of course she would have been on that door cam footage. You can't switch that Vivint stuff off. Okay. Yeah, all pixelated, just zoomed in, pixelated. All look, if you catch it under the light, looks like a ponytail. The gate, that was all just, it's all crap. It's all rubbish. They're exactly the same height. Chris was 5'10", Nicole was considerably smaller. There's no difference in the height there either. If that was her anyway, where's she going? Where's she walking to? Was she just going to go and sit in the truck outside, out the front, where everyone can see her? And then, of course, you got the fact that if that is her and she walked into the truck, he then backs that truck into the driveway. Again, what, she's just going to sit there in the driveway? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's fabricated crap, all from CCTV footage. Of course, then you had the car. That's not Betty's car. That's the car. That car is actually on the gravel. It's on the gravel next to the house. It's a red car. They've parked on the gravel. For one, there'd be tyre marks in that gravel. Two, it would have flicked up stones. They would have been on the grass. You can see from the police footage when the police get there, there's nothing. When it goes up to the door, it pans out. You can see the driveway there. Okay, there's nothing. The stones haven't been kicked up. They're not moved in any way. Okay. The red car obviously wasn't there when Shanann got home, because you would have seen it. So it had to arrive between the time that Shanann got home. If that was the case and a car had pulled up there, Nate's Motion CCTV would have caught it, wouldn't it? It would have caught it backing in there, or it would have caught it, it would have caught it, okay? Hello?
Hey, Dad, it's Firefly. I just got home from work. I wanted to call in and say hello.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Can everyone hear Firefly? I'm just going to check they can hear you okay. I think they can. Yes, they can hear you. That's fine. Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Oh, they can hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi, everybody. Yeah, this subject, I figured I'd give the math hole point of view. Yeah, when you talk about the book with Cindy, I think a real smart thing would have, with this public platform, would have been to come out and issue a sincere apology to Shanann and her family, and then leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know why, why they've gone down that. I mean, obviously it's not Cindy writing it, it's this Kathleen Hewston, who apparently is a proper crime author. But, she obviously is
Yeah,
working with
the
Cindy.
timing's weird.
Pardon?
The timing's strange because Cato's letter from Lucifer's just came out, and then she's writing this book. Number one, the book shouldn't be written, but it's almost like this is how I look at it. Chris didn't not only fall far from the tree, he didn't fall off the tree. Good tension in that family, good or bad. They just seem to want it because why would you unleash a hate ball on you? Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, the timing of it is very. It's what I mean for me. It's way too early for a book from Cindy to be coming out. She and especially if that's the sort of thing that she wants put out there. No, go away. Don't be quiet.
Yeah,
Don't put that out there. It's that insinuation in that, that's these kind of secrets that they're kind of
yeah. Your
insinuating.
phone's breaking up a little on your end. I'm having a hard time hearing you, but I feel bad for the family. It's almost like anything that this case touches now is like cursed. Nothing good comes from it. They should just leave it alone.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. They shouldn't be. I mean, what do you think, of Cadle's book, or of her kind of, wanting to
Oh,
get the
Cindy.
truth out?
Well, like I said, I haven't read Cato's. I just heard a lot about it. I guess it pretty well is bombing. People are sending it back. Cindy's book, I heard the part that you read, and I heard some scuttlebutt about what happened on Jay's channel. But yeah, she could have worded it differently.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You do actually, yeah. I mean, they would have known that, you know, that kind of text, that kind of paragraph lines going out there is going to instantly trigger people, isn't it? And, they've got this Mel out there kind of doing the PR work, if you like, for them, but she's not shooting down these, when these things come up and when people instantly jump on it as Shanann bashing, she's not shooting it down, she's not stopping it. Um, like last night, yeah, she's got the opportunity there to do it. Mm. I can see where she's coming from. She's calling Chris out on his kind of on his bullshit, his lies and stuff like that. But towards the end of that forward that I read, you hear it back if you play it back. She's kind of alluding to the fact that did Chris seal the medical records because either he was sexually abusing them or that Shanann was abusing them in some way. And that is just, no, just don't even go there, Don't even go there. Why would you? No, I just. Oh, hang on, we got a bit of a sound problem here. Hang on 1 second. Bear with me.
Be quiet. If you would publicly apologize and just go underground and heal and do what you got to do, don't be, this book is just not a good thing. Like Cato's book did nothing good. It didn't help anybody. It helped Cato.
No,
I
exactly.
don't see anybody else that's helping.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a bit of a sound issue there. I think about the last couple of minutes were lost, but yeah, I wonder if Cadel was just maybe she was a little bit obsessed with Chris. Maybe she just wanted the opportunity to speak to him. Maybe
Yeah.
her interests weren't really about helping Chris find God and all that kind of stuff. And there just seems to be ulterior motives surrounding everything to do with this case.
Well, absolutely. She did not, just from what I've read online, and I've read almost the whole book for free. She didn't do any research. She basically took a little bit of what Chris said. So much of that book, from the excerpts I read, is her opinion. And the other half, you don't know who's talking. So she just threw that together. It wasn't even edited properly, just for the money, to rake in the money. It wasn't even done properly and respectfully.
I've even heard that the Ruzek surname is not even spelt correctly in Cadel's book, which is just ridiculous that is allowed to go out with a misspelling like that of one of the family's names.
Right. I don't know. There's stuff coming out about her, and like I said, it's almost like anybody associated with this case, they're cursed. Their situation's cursed. They're just not nice. They're not decent people. It's like Chris Watts just attracts darkness, and badness.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just wanted to meet him, I think, like you said. And hey, I interviewed Chris Watts, and he's got little hands, and who cares? I don't care about his hands. You know what I'm saying? I thought that book was going to deal with a lot of stuff and be a little more clear. She just threw a bunch of shit together to put it on us and threw it on out there in the public, hoping for the best, that people would notice that, half of it wasn't even spelled right.
No.
She didn't even get the Ruth's name right. She didn't even spell it right.
No, I know. She said she reached out to the Ruzeks, but they didn't respond, which I can totally understand that they wouldn't want to do that. And then there's this whole shenanigans with the with the Watts family, isn't there? That they fell out. I don't know what's true and what's not, but that she kind of manipulated them into coming on board with it, and then
Well,
I don't know.
and unfortunately, what these books are doing too is stirring up the crap that was kind of starting a little bit to die down. People now you got AD now coming out of the woodwork. He's back on the Nicole Kessinger. According to him, Jim, Nicole Kessinger, half the neighborhood, like I've said, and the Avon lady, they may turn the watch truck into a clown car. Everybody was involved. 3 branches of hair. I mean, he's right back at it. And it's more disgusting than ever now.
Yeah, but as I understand, there's nothing in the in his latest confession, if you like, in Cadel's book, to suggest that she was in any way involved. I'm certain of that because we would have heard about that by now. So I don't quite know where people are going to go with that, with the with the NK thing, because there's nothing, as far as I know, to add to that.
Zero. Zippo. Nada. There's nothing. And you know what's really disgusting is they know it. 99.9% of his viewers and him know that she wasn't involved. They really do. But it's entertaining for them. They get all riled up. It keeps it going because they're hooked on it. They don't think that this is people's lives you're ruining. I can't wait till the day her and Jim come out and sue the ass off these people, because I'll be doing the backflips over it. Really, that she's going to have to do that to get them to stop.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting if she ever does come out in years down the line or whatever. I think there could be a lot of people doing a lot of backpedaling and scuttling, and do you know what I mean? It's I think what it is as well. There's a lot of people that are new to this case probably.
Right.
With these books coming out and stuff, they're probably new to it, and so a lot of them are probably being hoodwinked a lot more easily on that kind of stuff. Oh, NK, this is NK walking out the house, and they're all kind of like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe she hasn't been arrested. I can't believe the FBI and the CBI have missed all this. All this on this CCTV footage. They haven't seen any of it. And I think new people are getting strung along, which is a shame.
It is a shame. I mean, listen, nobody likes a homewrecker, okay? Nobody. She did so many things wrong. I mean, but, you stick to the facts. There's no proof. What they want to do is people want to turn this into the 1800s, like I said before, in Salem, Mass, where we stone people to death for adultery. We just don't do it. She was a homewrecker. She lied to the cops. Yeah, she deleted messages, but I'm the same way. When somebody creeps me out or some guy I break up with, I delete everything. I just get rid of you. I don't leave nothing around. I don't want nothing to remind me of you. I understand that. I understand why she lied about me in marriage. She's trying to save face. All the things she did are pretty understandable in a human realm, but you can also twist them to make a buck off it. And that's what AD's doing. It's really pretty sad that she's got to hide under a rock because all there's people that want to kill her. I mean, when you get down to it, and hurt her.
Mm. And at the end of the day, why would he be protecting her? He's never getting out. Why would he sit there in prison taking the whole rap for this if there's other people involved? Do you know what I mean? He's got no motive to do that, has he? He's got no reason to do that.
Right. Dad, you hit it. Absolutely. He ain't going to sit there eating ramen noodles. He would have thrown her right into the bus. Because now I think what's happening, he's kind of like, I don't know. See, anything that's in Cato's book, I take with a grain of salt. I think the woman made half of it up, and I don't know, and twisted the other half. So you can't even go by what she's saying, that, he's kind of implicating dark things. And, like I said before, I think he's mad at her that she hasn't contacted him. So he's trying to, like, I don't know if you call it blackmail or to get in touch with him. But, she was smart. She dumped him and stayed dumped. She didn't, you know what I mean? She said it was going to be a while before she could go out in public. Little did she know how bad it was going to be, Yeah,
I mean, I can see why she's disappeared, especially now. I mean, I don't think she's probably ever going to come out. She's probably got a completely different name, completely different appearance.
She seems to have a good group of people in her life, because nobody's called her out. Nobody's told on her. I mean, they've protected her and kept her hidden. So, which is good, because her safety's at risk with these people that are whipped into a frenzy that, vigilante justice. Well, the FBI let her off, so we'll get her. The FBI let her off because she wasn't involved. That's why. It's not a popular opinion, but it's true.
Yeah. And what have you watched much of Mary Marlowe lately? I mean, apparently she's kind of losing the plot a little bit with all this hacking stuff, and I mean,
Mary Marlowe. Yeah, I don't watch Mary Marlowe. I do watch C.J. Green and her. That's the way I get my Marlowe. Wow, she's gonna get sued. She's a loon, man. She's off her rocker. I don't even have words for that lady. I mean, she's really, and she is after Nicole Kessinger, like Nicole was sleeping with her husband. She hates her so much. And she's got no proof either. Absolutely none. None.
No,
You know.
I mean, apparently she's putting out I don't know if it's her or not, but she's putting out emails saying that, she's got a silver bullet for people and all this kind of stuff. If that is her, she really is sort of crossing the line. She's going to get herself in real trouble.
What? She's gonna get herself sued. If not thrown in a straitjacket and put in a loony bin if she keeps it up. And people watch her for the same reason they watch like AD. It's entertainment and a joke, and it's something to a lot of these people make their own miserable lives seem better. It's not based on fact or reality or helping people. It's based on them making money. That's all it's based on. And let me tell you something that we all know. If the name Nicole Kessinger didn't bring in any money, nobody be talking about her. None of these people be talking about her.
No, absolutely not. There is, I mean, maybe a certain creator we all know who's holidaying in Malta at the moment. I think a few people have cottoned on to his kind of, he won a ticket for £5 or whatever. To a big poker competition. I think people have seen through that. I've seen a few comments on his channel. I think people are starting to maybe wise up a little bit to some of the things that are going on over there.
Well, yeah, I think for AD, I think it was his Malta gambling excursion, and all over YouTube, people were like, "Hey, well, wait a minute, you're spending my money on this."
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you get when you give it to a vulture. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine earning money, but just be honest. Be honest with your subs about what you're doing with it, and don't. It's just that's what gets a lot of people. I think. It's just that dishonesty.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I have no respect for him. I don't have any respect for Mary Marlowe. I don't have respect for a lot of these creators. And nor do a lot of other people. I don't even think half the people on their channels respect them. They're just entertained by them, and that's kind of sad, in itself.
Yeah, I'd say it's just be honest. Be honest with people. People will respect that rather than trying to deceive people.
Well, absolutely. Well, if AD was honest, he wouldn't have any subs.
Pardon?
Him and like AD and the Truth are like strange bedfellows. He wouldn't have any subs if he was honest.
No.
Nobody be around if he wasn't making things up. If he was sticking to the facts, there'd be nobody there.
Yeah, I just.
Or maybe because he's made this into. It's kind of like when you're an actor and you get cast typed. It's just something. Well, he's cast typing himself. So if he tries to go into anything else, he's not going to be able to do it. When he should have stopped it a long time ago and did other cases, and he might have been okay.
I think it's sad as well that a few creators have kind of utilized this like Patreon system to kind of promise that they can read, with these books coming out, that they can read these books behind Patreon and all that kind of thing, getting people to join. A lot of people have since found out they can't do that because of copyright rules.
Right.
It's just making that money off of this sort of tragic case, isn't it? Which I just find very distasteful.
Well, like I said, and my dad used to say, anything ill-begotten is cursed. So all this money, nothing good is going to come of it. And when people they start having bad luck or things go wrong and they're doing stuff like this, I'd like to tell you, it's karma, okay? Examine your morality. You're all bankrupt. Examine yourself. This is why, things are going to start going wrong for you. It's karma slapping you in the face. So stop it,
Yeah.
Find yourself something to do. If you want to donate money, do what I do. If I got a few dollars, I donate to the homeless, shelters, something worthy like that.
Yeah. I think it just makes you feel better about yourself as well, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? All right, well, thanks for calling in, Firefly. It's just breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, you're breaking up too, so. Alrighty, well, it was good talking to you. Love you, everybody in chat.
Yeah, love to Firefly.
Great love, Dad. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Okay, bye. Sorry, I had a bit of trouble with the sound there, guys. I'm not sure what's going on there. I had a few difficulties hearing Firefly myself. So yeah, if you just joined or you didn't hear, I'd recommend just listening back, just listening to, if you haven't heard it, if you want to hear it, it's the forward, if you like, the intro, I think, to Kathleen Hewston's book. It's controversial, some may say. It kind of got me triggered, definitely. It's said it's rhetorical. It's rhetorical questions. I think people will take it how they will. But yeah, I'd recommend listening back to it if you want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, then obviously don't. What does TP think about Jay for Justice given what's a platform? I think Jay's definitely in it. Jay's heart's in the right place. But I think she was let down big time by Mel on that live, when Mel should have spoken up and shot down the insinuation that Sinead may have done something to her children. She didn't. So I think Jay may be being manipulated, and I'm not having to go at Jay. I think Jay's a good person, and I think she's trying to do it for the right reasons. But I don't think it's going to work out that way. And it's for that, it's for that reason I won't be giving them a platform anymore, because of the way that this has turned, the way that Cindy is going, the way that this book's coming out, and no. If that's what they're trying to say, if that's the agenda they're pushing, and if that's the sort of rhetorical questions that they're thinking, then no. Then no way will this channel be giving them any kind of platform. Certainly not in any way supportive of them or what they're doing in any way. Yeah, Stephanie. And what the trouble was, it wasn't until this book's come out that I can clearly see the agenda that they are pushing. Um, behind the scenes, we get obviously get told a lot of stuff. Get shown pictures, and then we got by other creators telling us stuff. We got told that they wanted to help bring the families together, to help ease the kind of not bring the families together, but just try and quell a lot of this hate that's going on online. And yeah, I suppose maybe try and reach out to the Rusex to try and maybe start some kind of, I mean, this should be going on here anyway. This should all be going on in private anyway, offline. I've said all this to them. Um, you know, Clearly there is a massive, massive issue going on that's way bigger than anyone knows. And then obviously with all these books coming out, um, you know, it's kind of making sense why they've come out, and they're speaking out, and they're trying to do what they're doing. So, but I think a lot of it had to come out, had to be brought out for everyone to see. Otherwise, it just goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't quite know what to make of it. But as I said earlier, if you put people on, if you bring them on and say, there you go, speak your piece, they're going to give themselves away. They're going to show their true colours. And that's what's happened. because people aren't stupid. None of you are stupid. No, a lot of people have been following this case a long time online aren't stupid. You know, they can see through when people are being truthful. They can see when people have got agendas. They can see when people are talking bullshit, you know. Um, so bring them on, you know, let them do that and let them show themselves for who they are. And that's what's happened, I think. Um, and I think people have now got a much clearer picture of what is going on. Um, you know, obviously it's been complete kind of chaos and a circus, which is why I've named this stream Circus, because it is. And yeah, they keep showing their true colours, Karen Ann. That's right, they do. Uh, you know, if they don't believe all this stuff about Shanann, then why aren't they saying it? Get out there and say it. You know, get Mel to say it. Do you know what I mean? You know, we all know this is real life. This is all grown-ups, adults. You know, you don't need little people to speak for you and put little messages out there. And you know, if that was me and I was being wrongly kind of represented, or I'd be straight out there saying, no, that's not true. We don't think that. I'm sure you'd all be the same, you know. But because that doesn't happen, then it speaks volumes, doesn't it? And now you've got, yeah, obviously the demons made him do it, and you know all this dark stuff with NK and all that kind of stuff. Um, you know, now apparently, or this, you know, this is what, you know, this is something you may not have heard. A bit of information for you if it helps you to understand what this dark stuff was that NK was into, and that apparently, you know, Chris was into. And the thing is, with Chris, dark could be anal sex and doing drugs, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Chris looks like a little bit of a, yeah, you know, mummy's boy, isn't he? Let's face it, you know, dark to him is probably could be anything, couldn't it? It's not, you know, what we consider dark to Chris is probably, I don't know, you know, stealing some sweets from the tuck shop is probably dark to him. So, you know, when he says, "Oh, there's dark stuff, and I'll take these dark secrets to," okay, see you, Sudamas. Um, you know, I'll take these dark secrets to my grave. You know, it just could be anything, couldn't it? But he was, what NK was into, and what Chris was into, was something called a Kundalini awakening. Okay, Kundalini, Kundalini awakening. This is what he was into with, oh, this apparently is what NK was into. And apparently this is what she was getting Chris into. Now this probably, I think this ties in with the crystals and all that kind of stuff. You know, so whether that's dark stuff, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's to do with, I don't know, awakening your kind of soul and your nervous system and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's dark stuff. I don't quite know what the dark stuff is, but yeah, you'll have to look it up. It's Kundalini, Kundalini awakening. This is what he was into just before with NK. For what that's worth, to be honest. Oh, Ollie's here. Kundalini is to do with chakras. Oh, okay. Is it something to do with crystals and stuff? Stuff like that, maybe. But yeah, apparently NK was into that. She had like necklaces and stuff, didn't she? And Rumour has it that the dark stuff was Cadle's words, not his. Well, this is it, isn't it? It's a lot of stuff. It's sort of Cadle's words against his, isn't it? You know, it was like the taking stuff to his grave. I think that was kind of her word against his, wasn't it? Yeah, Watts is very vanilla. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Kundalini is a source of energy that rises up through the chakras. Yeah, sounds quite spiritual and stuff then. Well, it didn't do him any good, did it really? Let's face it. Didn't do him any favours. If you know, if he's a complete psychopath, then I don't think anything's going to practicing anything's going to help, is it really? He was hopeless. Yeah, he was really, wasn't he? He didn't seem to. I mean, how his IQ is. I don't know if that was right or not about his IQ. It didn't seem that bright to me. Right, anyway, guys, I've got Ollie giving me some real hassle here. I think he wants some food, bless him. I'll have to put him on Zoom, won't I, at some point? Danielle Smith, a source of power associated with divine feminism. Hmm. Yeah. So you'll have to look into that, guys, if you're if you're interested to know what NK and Chris were into. But I have heard from a very good source, and that's what they were into. So, hi, Danielle Smith. Yeah, and if you haven't seen Jay's live stream from last night as well, um, that's one to go and watch if you kind of want to know what's going on with Cindy's or the just released Cindy's new or the chapter one that's just only has only released yesterday. Mel had the permission from Kathleen yesterday to speak it out, so she said it read it out on Jay's. Jay's read it as well. Jules of Thought came into the live. Frank was there. It all kicked off. Frank then went on to Jules live. Jules of Thought after that. So the circus continues. Firefly, see you later, Firefly. Right, okay, I think I'm gonna make a move, guys. We've been on for nearly 2 hours. Thanks to Kimberly, our new spanner, and Solange for keeping tabs on you guys. Although you're so well behaved lately, don't need to, from what I've seen. Stephanie M, it was a shit show. Yeah, the thumbs down and thumbs up don't look very good on that video. I don't know. Listen to what you think about that chapter that's just been released. Mel told Frank not to get his panties in a bunch while giving Jamie a wrench. So screw. Is that what she said? Was it? Oh dear. They're not doing themselves any favours, are they? The PR's not working for them. If they're trying to tell that if what they're trying to do is go out and tell the truth and stop the Shanann bashing, then they're really not doing a great job of it, are they? Why aren't they stopping it? Why? Why are they letting these things carry on? Maybe they need someone different. Maybe they need to come out. Or is this their real thoughts? This is the thing. Do you know what I mean? If they're letting Mel say this stuff, then it makes you think, well, that's what they think. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Veronica Mars has hit on the head. Frank is just trying to keep from Shanann's name being muddied on social media. I would do the same. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would be exactly the same. Because you know what it's like when the littlest thing gets sort of said on social media, especially on YouTube, and then it just spreads like a virus, doesn't it? Doesn't matter whether it's right, wrong, it doesn't matter, it just spreads, and then all of a sudden it's that's the news, that's the truth, that's what happened. And then it's impossible to contain it because once it's out there, it just like a virus, it just spreads and it becomes toxic, especially if it's something bad. Do you know what I mean? But like I've said to them before, if the Watts family don't feel this is right and this is not what their agenda is, this is not how they feel, then they need to get out there and they need to speak it up, or they need to put someone in charge of PR who's saying the right stuff and what they believe. Otherwise, it's just hot air, isn't it? And a lot of it, obviously, is so clear now. It's because of Chris' book come out, Cadle's book, Cindy's got his book coming out. You know, it's all over these books, isn't it? It's got to be. Jeffrey Dahmer was not in general population. He was still murdered. Do you know what? I'm thinking that's going to be the answer, isn't it? To put him in general population. It's going to be better for everyone if someone takes him out. I honestly think that is going to be the best for everyone, even for his own family. Yeah, they'll find a way, definitely. They'll find a way. If he goes in GP, then he's done. He is done. Someone will take him out in no time. Like I say, do you know what? Maybe that's probably the best thing in it for everyone. But then some people might say, he needs to suffer. I don't know. Yeah, Carolina Girls. One man has a book too. Yeah, does anyone know who this is? There's a man. It's bringing out a book. This is obviously relative to the Chris Watts case. Um, I don't know. I don't know the author, and I don't know what it's called. So if anyone knows, um, that'd be handy to know. I'll have a look after this video, obviously. But if anyone knows, just put it in the comments under the video or something like that. That'd be handy. The Perfect Father. Oh, okay. Interesting title. The Perfect Father. It's like letters from Christopher, isn't it? Letters from Christopher. Not letters from a psychopathic, murdering bastard. Um, letters from a sociopathic man who just annihilated his whole family. No, letters from Christopher. It's not the title I would have for that book. See you, Mick. Right, okay, guys, I am going to call it quits. So, thanks to Firefly for ringing in. Sorry about the sound difficulties. Thanks to Solange and our new moderator, Kimberly. Thanks for accepting the challenge. Yep, see you, Mick. See you, Brandy. Thanks for coming in, guys. Hope some of you were interested in hearing that forward to Kathleen Straight Cindy's book. Sorry if it offended a lot of your eardrums. But it's going out there. It's news. It's going to be out there. Yeah. Thanks for everyone for coming in. Much appreciated as always. I'm away this weekend, away with family, so I won't be able to do a live this weekend, but I'll try and do one early next week. I'm just going to continue a little bit on the video series as well of the sort of conspiracy bullshit. I've done number 1 about the CCTV about Nikki coming out, Wayne K walking out. I'll probably do a few more about that as well. I think it's quite interesting for newer people joining the case to know about that kind of stuff. We all know about it, obviously, but it'd be interesting for newer people. So I'll probably do a live early next week sometime. So enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend. If I don't speak to you before, I always try and read all the comments on the videos. I always try and heart them as well, just to show that I've read them. If I don't heart it, it's probably because I don't agree with it. I don't always go for all the replies either. So hard to listen to. Solange, yeah, I know, but at least it gives you an informed, being able to make an informed opinion on it, doesn't it? And it gives people a picture of, Cindy's book and what the Watts want or are allowing to go out there, So at least people then know exactly, what the kind of agendas are and that kind of stuff. Right, okay, so thanks everyone. So I hope you found it interesting in some way tonight, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will speak to you again next week, I'm sure. So take care, one and all. Be safe out there, and I'll speak to you again. Thanks very much. Cheers.